Well, that last video was something, wasn't it? Okay, so if you didn't watch the last video, what what the heck are you doing? Go watch the last video. It's important to YouTube. Um, but back to my normal soft soft ranty videos. What am I doing with my life? Let's see. So no work tomorrow, of course. So I was playing Genshin Impact earlier, and I finally got, well, I didn't get her up to 90. I'm able to get her up to 90. I think I have her like 85, but I'm getting Hu Tao up to 90, and which is stupid because the thing I needed to get her up to 90 was Silk Flower. Not the stuff you need from the big bad boss you have to fight, not the other things that are harder to find. No, Silk Flower. That was what was preventing me from getting her to 90. So I went on this morning to do all my daily stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. The Silk Flower must have respawned by this point. There's 2 vendors you can get them from, 5 each, so there's 10 right there. I needed 20 of them, which I'm like, I'll get this no problem. So I went to buy them. So I got 10, and then I went to the one other place that you can find a good amount of them. I'm like, okay, I can do it. Got her up there, and yeah, I got her up to level 85 right now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's 85 or 80. No, it's 85. But I've also been farming for artifacts for her. What she needs is HP, attack, and crit. But I just keep getting stuff for like fucking defense and elemental mastery, which is still okay. All this stuff, I mean, everything's helpful except for defense. Defense with Hu Tao is not necessary, especially when you have Zhongli on your team, like I do. Zhongli's shield is almost impenetrable. There's only a few instances where I have to worry about it. But yeah, if you have Hu Tao, you know, when you use her elemental skill, it takes away a portion of your health, which it's maybe concerning. But you have Zhongli's shield around you, you're not going to get hit by anything, so you can just keep destroying. And then if you have Toma, you can stack his shield on top of that too. So you get double shield all the way across the sky. Yeah, yeah, so intense. No, but yeah, that was Genshin stuff. What else? I eat the jelly beans. I don't know. But yeah, it was warm out today again. It was like 77 degrees out. I was like, ooh. You can't see it, but my window is open, and it's actually kind of warm. I've got my fan on next to me, but it's actually kind of warm right now. So yeah, there's that. It's weird getting darker out, you know, with it getting darker sooner. You know, like Wednesday, like every Wednesday, I was so used to waking up and having it like pitch dark out, and then going outside and waiting for my ride and all that. But I woke up yesterday and it was like light out, like partially. You could see the sun was up. I'm like, oh, this is so weird. But like I said, I think I talked about it yesterday. I woke up thinking that like my time was wrong, but like both my computer and my phone both said the exact same time. I'm like, okay, Shirley, don't call me Shirley. Surely it must be correct. And then I went outside and I saw the people still bringing their kids to school because the school's right across the street. I hate kids. But yeah, so I was sitting there and I saw them because they kind of go across down the street and then they come around because the doors on my side of the street, so they don't want me crossing the street to go around. So they just park to where I can just get on. But yeah, I saw the song. I was like, this is so weird. It's so weird. John, how's it weird? It happens every year. I know it happens every year. Twice a year, you have daylight savings time, and you have the end of daylight savings time, but it's still weird, because for so many months, your body and your eyes and your brain are so used to one thing, then all of a sudden, just the very next day, it changes. It's just weird. That it's so weird that there be such a shift, and it's just so short of a time. So, but yeah, I woke up. I'm like, the sun. I took a nap today. I was gonna sleep longer, but I think I fell asleep at like 12, and I didn't really want to because the cats were laying on the bed sleeping. I'm like, I look back and they're sleeping. I'm like, why is it that every time I have the thought of possibly wanting to lay down again, why is it you guys are always sleeping on the bed? So Fluffy Butt brought her blue string in here, so I just threw that out there and she went for that. Sam, I have to kick out, but he's like, I'm like, Sam, I don't want to hear any of your bullshit. I don't care. So I fell asleep at like 12, woke up again at 4. Roommate wasn't home. It was like 4:30, but that was understandable because she had to leave. She left pretty late today. I think she left around 11 or so because she couldn't find her bra. She said she had put it on her bed and everything, but somehow it made it into like this drawer that was next to her bed. First, she said she never opened it, but then she said she keeps her keys in there, so apparently you did have to open it. But she was like all spooked out because she's like, yeah, it's weird. It's just, I had it on the bed and it was missing. Now it's missing and can't go to work with, without having it on, blah, blah, blah. So I'm walking around in that, the living room, kitchen area, trying to find the damn thing. I'm looking under the bed and everything. And she like opens the drawer and there it is. And she's like, huh, how did it get in here? I'm like, did you accidentally put it in there? She's like, well, I don't remember opening it. I'm like, well, do you keep your keys in there? She's like, yeah, well, you must have accidentally put it in there. I mean, because if you're getting your keys out and you're holding something in your hand and you see an open drawer, just like instinctively, you just put it in the drawer. I've done that several times too, where I'm looking for something and it ends up being in a drawer because, I was holding it while I opened the drawer to get whatever else, and I just put it in the drawer. So, but then she was like, oh, I didn't open it. Oh, wait, my keys are in here. So, yes, I did open it. Well, make up your mind. Put the spotlight on her. Interrogation mode. Well, maybe you need to sit in here for a while you think things through. We'll get back when you get your story straight. I don't think I would be very good at interrogations. Despite my stature, my large size, I don't think I'd be able to keep things together. Because if someone's lying and I know they're lying, I'm going to flat out call them a liar and I'm going to laugh. I wouldn't be a very good interrogator. Unless there was some physical aspects to it. But so actually, question of the day, and I'm looking for serious answers because I know I'm not the only one who's into science and stuff like that. So yesterday at work, I was working, of course, because that's what you do at work. They don't pay you to stand around. No, so I was thinking about work. I was thinking about work while I was science. Oh, John, you're such a riot. I know. I am a riot. But nothing burning down here. No, but I was working and I was thinking about this. So, and it all started with the thought of that we know more about outer space than we do our own planet. And which makes sense because we're not going to have this planet forever. In like about 4.5 billion years, the sun's going to explode and we're not going to be here anymore. So naturally, we have to find other planets that are suitable. But that got me thinking. We're clearly long ways from space travel. I mean, they said just the tech that they have in Star Trek or Star Wars to be able to go across in space. I mean, that's still going to take a couple thousand years just to advance in that. But I thought, when we do, because when you're trying to travel in space, what's the most important thing? Propulsion. You need a way to push yourself. So how would you do that? You need some kind of constant fuel source, because remember, you're going to be in space. You're not going to have some intergalactic gas station to stop at. So if we're going from planet Earth to some faraway planet, some galaxy, it takes several light years. So if it takes 3, 4, 5 light years to get to, how are we going to maintain that constant propulsion? So I was thinking, I mean, and this was just off the top of my head, I'm sure it wouldn't practically, I'm sure it wouldn't work out, but like a Mr. Fusion type thing. If people remember Back to the Future, at first Doc was using plutonium to fuel the flux capacitor, which was making time travel possible. But instead, he upgraded to Mr. Fusion. And what was Mr. Fusion able to do? It was able to take in garbage. He shows up at Marty's house, he's grabbing fucking banana peels and cans and soda, this and that, throwing it into Mr. Fusion, and it was able to harness whatever elements or minerals or whatever and convert that into energy needed for the flux capacitor and the time circuits. And we know this. It wasn't for the gas. It wasn't to help it propel itself. In Back to the Future 3, when the DeLorean gets shot with the arrow when Marty goes back into the past, he just like casually mentions it to Doc, saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stop and get gas, fuel line, and blah blah blah." And he says that that Mr. Fusion powers the flux capacitor and the time circuits, but the car runs on regular gasoline. But if you're able to make something and harness garbage to produce the effects for traveling through time, think about space. Think about space. Rocks, gas. Many of those rocks have minerals and things we use on Earth today to power things. Copper, gold. If you look inside computers, cell phones, you have gold. Zinc, iron. Several minerals that you would use that could be harnessed. So I'm thinking it'd be like, not like a tiny Mr. Fusion. Mr. Fusion was like this little tiny thing, but more of on a larger scale. But basically, it takes in all the space dust, all those particles and minerals, and it harnesses that to constantly, because like I said, there's no intergalactic gas station. And this thing is going to be, you might be traveling 50 years. You're going to need 50 years of fuel to get you from one place to another. How would it be possible? So I'm thinking like a Mr. Fusion type thing, where it takes just regular stuff and harnesses that in order to create a constant propulsion. Maybe not a fast, you're not going to be zipping through space, hyper speed here. You're not going to be like, no, but just a constant, like you're traveling in a car or a plane, it's going to be just a constant. You also got to keep in mind that you can't just travel in a straight line. It's going to be impossible. You're going to hit something at some point. But something like that, like I said, I'm sure it's not going to be practical, but I thought that would be interesting enough to think of what could be used, because like I said, space dust or gases and minerals like copper and gold that you can find on asteroids and stuff like that, we use that stuff all the time on Earth for almost the same things, to power things. Copper, great conductor of electricity. Like I said, if you look inside computers, electronics, you find gold. Bits of, they have gold in there because it's great to power things. So, yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about that? I was also thinking about the end of the universe. Like I said in the video we were watching a while ago, about the end of the universe. How long do you think it would take to reach the end of the universe? So say we gain immortality and we're able to live forever, and we're able to self-propel ourselves through space infinitely, essentially infinitely. How long do you think we would take to get to the end of the universe? Is there an end to the universe? Is the universe literally infinite? Does it have an end? And if so, what lies beyond it? Is it like a video game where you just hit a fucking wall? Or is there something beyond that universe going to somewhere else? Does it loop around? I mean, we need to know. That was another thing that's always fascinated me. That whole, how big is the universe? When does it end? Does it end? We have all this stuff that, you know, we have the seeable universe, but that's not the universe. That's just what we can see. Our telescopes are not powerful enough to see eons and eons away, you know, light years away. So yeah. So 2 questions. Traveling through space, like I said, serious answers, please, because I've always been interested in this stuff, and I would hope that the people who are like me have also been thinking about that kind of stuff at some point. So, self-propulsion, what will we do to propel ourselves at a constant through space? Would it, you know, would something like I said, where we use the minerals and the gases and everything of whatever's around us, because it's space, it's all around us, it's going to be a constant flow, or some kind of infinite self-sustaining particle, something like the TARDIS has, or but that's more science fiction, but something grounded in real life. Also, the second question is the universe, the end of the universe. How long, you know, do you think there is an end to the universe? How long do you think it would take to get there? What do you think we'd find at the end of the universe? Let me know, because like I said, I've always been interested in stuff. That's why I always excelled at science, because I love science. Yes, science! No, so serious answers, please, because I really do want to hear everyone's ideas. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the draw. I'd say thumbs up, thumbs down, but we won't be having a thumbs down soon enough. Well, I mean, you guys won't. I'll still see it, but YouTube, good job. Anyways, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.